Hi, I'm Karen and I am a member of the SED SI team. I created a 10 course syllabus which we are going to talk about briefly and see what each of it entails. One is what is neuroscience. This is going to be a broad overview of neuroscience. Two, we'll be talking about how humans discovered the brain and the wild story of Phineas Gage. This man woke up with a completely different personality after an accident. So we're going to see what exactly happened here and why he woke up with a different personality. Three, we're talking about the neurons, which are the fundamental units of the brain and nervous system. Four is neurotransmitters, which is the body's chemical messengers. And five, we'll be mapping out the brain together and talking about the four major lobes of the brain. Six will be about the hippocampus and why our brain sometimes invents false memory or why we forget things. Seven is about the brain's ability to physically reshape its own pathways based on our daily actions. Eight is about fear and stress. We are going to see what happens to the brain when we are under stress or when we are scared and what the brain does to calm itself after a stressful situation. 9 and 10 is about behavioral neuroscience. We will see the science behind digital addiction and what happens to our brain while we are asleep and the benefits of sleep to the brain. So let's dive into it, shall we? What is neuroscience? Well, neuroscience is the scientific study of the nervous system, and the nervous system is divided into two parts, central and peripheral. The central contains the brain and spinal cord. Because the nervous system is highly complex, we have them divided into subfields. We have neuroscience divided into subfields like cognitive, behavioral, clinical, computational, cellular, and molecular neuroscience. So, cognitive neuroscience is about investigating how physical brain structures create cognitive functions like memory, language, and perception. Behavioral neuroscience examines the neural basis of behavior. It studies how brain circuits influences our actions. Then clinical neuroscience is about understanding, diagnosing, treating disorders and diseases of the nervous system. So, who exactly is a neuroscientist? Where do they work? What do they do? People usually get confused between neuroscientists and psychologists. They think neuroscientists are therapists or counselors, but in reality, a neuroscientist usually studies the biology, cellular activity, and chemistry of the brain rather than a patient's personal history or everyday emotional struggle. That's like the work of a psychologist. So we have the classic neuroscientists who work in a research lab, analyzing brain chemicals and mapping out pathways. We also have chemical doctors, clinical doctors like neurologists and neurosurgeons who operate on patients. Today, with modern neuroscience, we find neuroscientists working in the tech industry and video game studios. Now you might wonder, what is a neuroscientist doing in the tech field? Well, you might be surprised to know that major gaming companies hire them to study the virtual reality environment and how it affects users and how uh, games reward system, how it's structured, how it affects the players and see if it is genuinely satisfying to players. So, why does this matter? Why does studying the brain matter? Why do we spend so much time in studying the brain? As you see pinned on our board, there are different several reasons for studying the brain. First, it is the key to curing brain diseases. By understanding the exact neural networks and brain tissues that break down over time, scientists can design targeted medical treatments to help people heal. Second, it allows us to optimize learning and education it helps in the advancement of technology, and it really helps us to truly understand the human nature at a biological level. But check out this yellow note pinned on the left side of our screen, because this is one of my absolute best brain facts. Did you know that our brain produces electricity which is powerful enough to light up a small LED bulb in the real world? Well, I think that is pretty awesome. And now, to finish up our introductory lesson, we are going to talk about the word neuroscience. The word neuroscience is a mashup of two ancient languages. First, we have the ancient Greek root word neuron, which translates to nerve or sinew, and the word scientia, which was gotten from Latin, which means knowledge. So, neuroscience can mean building knowledge about our nerves. You might be surprised that neuroscience is actually very young. Before the 1960s, scientists were totally isolated. Brain chemists only talked to other chemists, and brain structural experts only talked to other anatomists. That all changed in 1962 thanks to the man on the white card, Francis O. Smith. He was an American biophysicist at MIT. Smith realized that to truly solve the mysteries of the brain, we needed to tear down the walls between different sciences. He officially coined and popularized the term neuroscience, building the first collaborative research group where biology, chemists, physics, and medical experts could sit at the same table and map the brain together. So, we have completely finished our overview on our first introductory video. The next video, we are going to be talking about the brief history of the brain. We'll look at the bizarre medical practices of the ancient world and the accident that changed brain science forever. So make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. And if you learned something cool today, I would also like to know what part of the course syllabus you're looking forward to. So you can type that on the comment section below, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.